Good morning. Today is Tuesday, May 31st, 2011. We will have lots of fun today. Love, Miss Burlson.
At the time I graduated in '89, I didn't really want to go to school. My ambition was to get married and have children, and Mom had given me an ultimatum. I had to go to school or get a full-time job, so I chose cosmetology school and graduated with a cosmetology degree, and then never did hair. But got married and had children and never used the degree. And so stayed home for 6 years, and then I went to BRCC in 2002. I worked at Manual Woodworkers and Weavers for 6 years as a customer service rep. So when I went to Blue Ridge, I went to get a business administration degree so that I could just go back to work after my children went to school and make more money. But I was limiting myself because I thought I was too old to get a bachelor's degree. So I'll just go get a 2-year degree, go back to work, ask for more money. And 2 semesters in, I'd made straight A's in all my classes. And I was like, maybe there's something else I'm supposed to do besides just do this 2-year degree program. So I'd met Lisa, and she was already talking about, oh, I'm going to go get my bachelor's. And I was like, you're older than I am. How are you going to get a bachelor's? So I started exploring the same distance learning through Western and started feeling led to be a teacher. I tell people there was audible voices talking to me, then they think I'm crazy, but I felt that I was supposed to be a teacher, and so I changed my major. And as soon as I changed my major to college transfer, I didn't pay to go to school anymore. I had scholarships the rest of the time, so I know the decision was the right one. People laugh. My associate's degree cost $250 for me. That's all we paid.
The decision to continue your education shouldn't be taken lightly. Whitneyville Elementary's principal, Chad Oughton, feels that education plays an important role in the lives of people of all ages.
People are just lifelong learners. Human beings are naturally inquisitive. They want to learn. And going through that process is important.
When I got there, classes were hard. There was no gimmies. You had to work for what you got, and the teachers were amazing. All the instructors were over the top as far as their expectations. I told the drama teacher, who is still there, Jennifer Treadway, that she helped me discover that I could let my personality come through, and it was okay, even as an adult, to be silly. It was okay. So I found myself when I was there. Then Don Diego stood tall and in his most somber voice declared, Yo quiero frijoles. Wait, Miss Burlson lost it. Yo quiero frijoles. Sorry. Huh? Asked Cupido. My time at Blue Ridge was amazing. When I started, I was a nervous wreck because I thought I'd be the oldest person in all the classes. And my first night, there were 2 girls in a class with me that I went to high school with that were actually a couple years older than I was. So I was like, whew, thank the Lord. Probably my second semester, I started looking into clubs, and I did the Future Business Leaders, SGA. Just got active on campus. Even as an older adult, I thought there were more of us than younger people at that time on campus, so I thought, well, we need to be represented. So I even was president of SGA for 1 year while I was there. So I had a great time, loved it. I made great friends there, but I felt a little inferior because everybody was younger. So that was one of the obstacles, probably the biggest one that I can think of.
While obstacles await all students in college, non-traditional students like Andrea often have additional concerns.
As a mother and a wife, dealing with who's going to pick up kids, who's going to take care of the kids, because my little one was still at home. That was an obstacle.
So I think anytime you're working, you've got a family, and you're going to school, it's a challenge. But you just you set your goals and you push yourself to your goal, and you remember what your priorities are, and it's definitely doable. But you've got to be committed to doing that.
Upon graduation from Blue Ridge, it quickly became evident that all of Andrea's hard work would pay off.
So I went straight to work in the fall, and spring of '06 started at Western with the distance learning program.
When I got here, Andrea was a teacher assistant in a first grade classroom. You know, her duties included everything from taking kids to the bathrooms to teaching lessons.
My thinking was if I was in the system, that was a plus the experience in the classroom. So I was an assistant 5 years while I was getting my degree at Western. By five, assistants support the teacher. When I was an assistant, I ran copies, I did bulletin boards, any instructional help in the class that I was allowed to do, a lot of one-on-one with the kids.
Teacher assistants are just crucial to what we do. You know, they give the teacher the opportunity to work with small groups, to really individualize education programs for kids. Not only those students that need more attention, but those students that are excelling past the normal teaching, the normal curriculum.
They're pretty active, as you know, the kindergartners. They have many needs, and so it's hard for one adult, you know, to handle 18 to 24 children on their own.
It's a marriage per se because we spend 8 hours a day together taking care of 18 children. So it works well when you work together. We have learned to count and spell, count and spell, count and spell.
We have learned to count and spell.
And write our names so well. Oh, thank goodness you did it right. That was beautiful. When I graduated at Blue Ridge with my college transfer, they automatically made me a junior at Western, which was nice because I didn't have to take any of the classes before my program. Because Blue Ridge is a reputable school and accredited, like their classes count when you go to another college, it made my transition to Western easier because the degree of expectation at Blue Ridge was very much the same as what it was at Western. So even though it's a 2-year school, they expect a lot. And I learned there that if you expect a lot, you get a lot. If you expect little, you get little. And so that's the philosophy I brought into even a kindergarten classroom. If you expect much out of your kids, then they give you what you expect. If you just expect them to just be mediocre, then that's what they're going to be. So I think that the teachers and instructors and the administration at Blue Ridge, they have set it up to where there's not a huge transition when you go to a 4-year university when you leave there. It's just, you just continue on the path. It's not a bridge that you have to cross over. It's not harder. It's relatively the same.
It's not always in the means of students, both traditional and non-traditional, to attend universities that are far from home. In Andrea's case, she was able to work on a bachelor's degree from Western Carolina, both in the comfort of her home as well as on the campus of Blue Ridge Community College.
Western had a cohort program where they would have certain classes every semester, and they guaranteed they would make sure that they offered all the classes that we needed to graduate, and they would send professors over to us. And if it was a class that needed to be seated, sometimes it was online, sometimes it was via, I don't know what it was like a Blackboard program, but we could see the class in Western, where they couldn't see us, but they could hear us. We could ask questions. So we were in the class, but we weren't present in the room. I loved Blue Ridge so much that it was like a plus that the classes were there. A green crocodile climbed over the tree. Hot dog.
Andrea received her bachelor's degree from Western Carolina last summer, and we were fortunate enough to have an opportunity to hire her on as a full-time teacher. She just, we had an opening and we had somebody in-house that we, were really pleased with. We knew exactly what we were getting. We knew she was great with kids and would learn what she needed to learn in the classroom, and has just done a marvelous job for us.
I graduated May of 10, and Mr. Alton hired me for the fall of 10. So I went straight from Western's program to a teaching job.
I think the most important thing is how they can relate to kids. Can they build that relationship with kids? There's a lot of people that can cover the subject matter, that can teach what they need to teach, what they're supposed to teach. But if you can't relate to kids and you can't build that relationship, then you can't get across to them what they need to know. And that's one of the great things about having teacher assistants that are working towards their degree in teaching. is, you know, we get the opportunity to see what they can do before we hire them on as a full-time teacher. You know, I'd seen Andrea work with kids in the classroom as an assistant. I knew what kind of person I was getting. So once she finished up that degree program, it was a natural fit for us.
Uh-oh. Here. I got it.
She has a great deal of respect for me, the assistant, and for the kids, but she is not afraid to do something that she asks me to do. Andrea treats me like I am her equal. She doesn't expect me to always change the garbage cans and that kind of stuff, and we both work with the kids a great deal, so we both kind of get to do a lot of the teaching, and she helps me with some of the other smaller tasks as well. So it's a shared responsibility with the kids.
Good morning, Jason. Are you making a pattern as well?
Andrea hasn't finished her education yet. She continues to broaden her horizons through distance learning in pursuit of a master's degree.
I will finish my graduate degree in 13, which is in school counseling. And I want to stay in the classroom, but I wanted the master's in school counseling as an avenue that if I lose my effectiveness in the classroom or get burnt out, then I have something else I can do.
Going through that master's process makes you a better teacher. It causes you to examine what you're doing on a daily basis, to really look more in depth, to grow yourself as well as grow to help your students. It's a tremendous process, whether you're going through national boards or whether you're going for that master's once you're a certified teacher. I think education just keeps your brain flowing, and it makes you reflect on what you're doing on a daily basis, and then you, of course, you adjust what you're doing to better help your students.
What do you think the most important thing about the education you receive from BRCC is?
Other than the fact that my education at Blue Ridge enabled me to enroll at a four-year university, it was the empowerment that it gave me as a person. Because when you stay home and take care of children and take care of your husband, you become somebody's wife and somebody's mother. And by going to Blue Ridge, I was Andrea again. And it made me feel empowered. I was somebody, I had a voice, and somebody cared what I had to say, other than my children. So I think it changed me as far as self-confidence and being able to have an opinion. So I got my voice back. That's what I tell everybody.
But I think in whatever field you're in, you know, things change, so it's important that you want to be a lifelong learner and continue to grow.
Definitely enroll in all the classes that they ever thought they might want to take but were afraid to take. I took children's theater. I took an acting class, something I would have never done. Step outside your box is what I would tell them. Just explore and try something new, because if you just limit yourself to what you think you can do, you'll never know what you're capable of. So I would tell them to definitely go to Blue Ridge and get involved. Get involved on campus. Even though if you're an older student, don't not get involved because you're an older student. Like the spring picnics and those sort of things. I took my whole family. Just get involved, because that makes your time there mean more. It's not like a job where you just go. I just tell everybody that the instructors are there not only to teach you, but to help you. They care about you. My time there, I found that they take a personal interest in their students. We weren't just a number or a seat to be filled. It mattered. What was going on in your life mattered. And they, more than one, many instructors would reach out to students and help them even outside the classroom. So I think the personal touch that they have, the fact that they care about their students, I really appreciated that when I was there. This one's a little harder, but I think you can sound it out. And remember, this E tells this O to say your name. So what's that O gonna say? O. So K-O-D. Code. Zip code.
Zip code.
If you're gonna go into teaching, you have to be passionate about teaching. It's not about a paycheck. It's not about money. It's not about how much money you're gonna spend out of your own pocket. It's how you're going to change a child's life or how they're going to change you. Because you come in thinking, I'm going to change this child's life, and in reality they change you somehow. Because I'm different now than I was in August as a new teacher. So even though I've been in the system for 5 years, you know, you learn something every day from these kids.
She's done a great job. I just couldn't be more pleased with the job that Andrea's doing with her students. I know parents are thrilled to have their students in her class, and they've really grown. They've shown a lot of growth throughout the year, and we're really excited about her start next year as well.
Success would mean, for me, is being the best that I can be in whatever I attempt to do. Whether it be taking pictures, teaching class, being a mother, being a wife, it's different for everybody. I think it depends on your ambition and what you want to do and what you consider a good job. So success for me is it's like personal gratification inside. I felt like that was the best I could do, so that would be success for me.